Japanese also had 2 men in the sin bin when the Scots barrelled into them. Numbers told, but Japan have shown they can make things uncomfortable. South Africa are more fearsome hosts. No British or Irish side has ever won a series there, and yet incredibly Ireland sprung the Springboks. Devin Toner's try gave them a 19-3 half-time lead. South Africa were booed off at the break, fuel to their second half fire. They found enough to keep Ireland from history, at least until next week. Andrew Geary, BBC News.
Football and the Republic of Ireland's chances of reaching the last 16 at the European Championship are in the balance after a 3-0 defeat to Belgium. Everton's Romelu Lukaku scored 2 of the goals in Belgium's first win of the tournament, which leaves the Republic bottom of their group. They next face Italy on Wednesday. Andy Murray is aiming to win a record 5th title at Queen's after reaching the final of the Aegon Championships. He beat Marin Cilic in 3 sets in what is his first tournament reunited with former coach Ivan Lendl. Murray will face Milos Raonic in tomorrow's final. Finally, the Queen celebrated a win at Royal Ascot this afternoon. Her horse Dartmouth was first past the post in the Harvick Stakes, taking the lead in the final furlong, and his owner was clearly delighted. It's the 23rd time the Queen's had a winner at the prestigious meeting. More throughout the evening on the BBC News channel, of course. We're back with the late news at 10:15. Maybe see you then. Now on BBC One, it's time for the news where you are. Bye-bye.
Katie.
Traffic committee meeting? The meeting's been adjourned. Wrong room.
From his family and friends as they see these images.
Tim and his 2 crewmates' journey back started when Soyuz TMA-19M disembarked at just before 7 AM this morning. On the ground, we heard the first contact with the capsule and then spotted it high above us.
Well, as Tim Peake is racing towards Earth, we are racing towards him. We've spotted the Soyuz in the sky with a parachute up, and now we're trying to get to the landing site as quickly as possible.
As we arrived, rescue crews were already on hand. Tim owes his life to this parachute, which stopped the Soyuz becoming a meteorite. A safe, if exhilarating touchdown, meaning it wasn't long before Major Tim was able to exchange a few words with his wife.
Hey, Rebecca, how are you doing?
As he was carried off for further medical checks, he told me about the incredible view he got from his window seat in space.
I had the right seat from Timco and I had the left seat.
What could you see?
It's amazing. You know, you start off and it's a lot of flames, spark. There's all the multi-layer insulation burns off the capsule.
After decelerating from 17,000 miles an hour, the last leg home was more sedate. But he'll be home in time for Father's Day tomorrow. A hero not just to his 2 sons, but also to the entire country.
So Dan, just explain what happens to Tim Peake now. He's not flying home just yet.
Well, it's he might be an astronaut, but there's no shortcut to get back home, I'm afraid. It's a long, tedious flight through the night via Norway to get back to the European Space Agency headquarters in Cologne. There he'll be sort of formally handed over to them. He's going to be on a NASA plane, but he'll be formally handed over to the ESA there for a debrief, to be reunited, of course, with his wife Rebecca and his 2 boys, and also, I should think, to get a good night's sleep finally, a nice hot shower, and maybe finally he'll get that beer.
Let's hope so. Dan Rivers in Kazakhstan, thank you. Now, the International Monetary Fund has said it's likely the effects of Britain leaving the EU would be negative and substantial. In its final report before next Thursday's vote, the IMF predicted a recession, higher unemployment, permanently lower incomes, a permanent fall in the value of sterling, and higher prices for imported goods in the shops. Iraqi forces say they've taken control of the main hospital in Fallujah, which had been the stronghold of so-called Islamic State in the city. Iraqi officials say most of Fallujah is now in government hands. And in Belgium, security was increased today around events for fans watching the national team in the Euro 2016 football tournament. 12 suspects were also arrested in raids after investigators said an attack could be imminent. Well, Belgium won that match at Euro 2016, which keeps them in the running to reach the knockout stages. 2 goals from Everton striker Romelu Lukaku saw the Republic of Ireland crash to a 3-0 defeat. That leaves the Irish bottom of Group E and needing to beat Italy next Wednesday to progress. And finally, English rugby is this evening celebrating its first ever series win on Australian soil after victory in the second test by 23 points to 7. A late try from Owen Farrell sealed the historic win in Melbourne. James Gibson.
English rugby fans are pinching themselves since Eddie Jones took over as coach. The World Cup debacle has become a distant memory. The first Six Nations Grand Slam in 13 years was big. Now they've made history down under, beating Australia in Australia to claim an historic Test series. This was a different challenge to last week's free-flowing win. Tries were much harder to come by. Captain Dylan Hartley putting England in front. But the Wallaby skipper Stephen Moore replied with a try of his own, matching the balance at half-time. If last weekend's game was a victory for offensive rugby, this performance showed why defence is often just as crucial. England repelled everything Australia could throw at them, and there was plenty.
So the closer you get, the harder you will fall.
Owen Farrell crossed late on, and the celebrations were underway. A 23-7 win, moving England above Australia to second in the world. James Gibson, ITV News.
And that's it. I'm back with the late news at 10. Until then, bye-bye.
No matter what the weather, Green Flag Breakdown Response sponsors the ITV National Weather.
Hello. For the vast majority of Britain, it has been a dry